means I'm going to wear funny clothes and try to bring the past to life, which is what I did for 36 years in the classroom. Well, I'm not in the classroom anymore, but I still have a room full of garb at the house. I still have a passion for bringing the past to life. I have a desire to preserve landmarks and record history, because landmarks tend to go away. And I'm currently on a very personal pilgrimage I like to very pretentiously refer to as my Mission Odyssey. I intend to visit each of the sites associated with the mission period, the missions, the asistencias, spin-off missions, the estancias that I can find, those were the ranchos, the presidios, those are fortifications designed to protect the missions, and anything else that happens to catch my fancy that might fit into this framework. And I intend to do this in garb and document the experience. So what I'm doing today is I am traveling from the Asistencia Santa Margarita, which was just north of Mission San Luis Obispo, and I'm on my way to Mission San Miguel Arcángel, and I hope you stick with me on my journey. I have to admit, when I envisioned doing this Mission Odyssey, I saw it as one savage burn along the Camino Real and go up the coast, and including the asistencias and the presidios, I would do maybe one video per site. And that plan was going to work. It did at first. And I would have an idea of what I was going to talk about. But then I started digging further, and I kept finding more and more stuff, so that for most of the missions, I've ended up doing 3 videos. Well, Mission San Miguel, I found out about poisonings and an insane priest. Okay, so who's going to be associated with the mission? Well, these are going to be the Salinan, who are a native California group. Their ancestral lands were in the southern part of the Salinas Valley, and they were also in the Santa Lucia Mountains. Okay, so they're hunters and gatherers. There were 2 major groups, and unfortunately I'm going to have to go with the names the missions assigned them: the Migueleños and the Antoniano. There is actually a 3rd group, the Playano, that tended to be more coastal, but these are the groups that are basically here that the Spanish are going to be dealing with. The name they used for themselves was the Tepotahal, or People of the Oaks, according to current tribal leadership. And pre-contact population was estimated in 1769 to be at least 700, maybe up to 3,000. On September 17th, 1769, Portola and his expedition at last left Chumash lands, and they continued onward, and by September 21st, they were passing near what was going to be the future site of Mission San Miguel, and this would be in Salinan territory. And they ended up camping near a creek that today is called Los Burros, where it would flow into the Nacimiento River. Padre Buenaventura Setyar of Mission San Antonio de Padua, along with Sergeant Macario Castro, Corporal Ignacio Vallejo, and a few soldados, surveyed the region, from the Rio Nacimiento to the Arroyo de Santa Isabel, and for 3 leagues on either side. On August 27, 1795, Padre Buenaventura wrote in his journal, "Stone for filling in the foundations of the walls are sufficient in the hillsides of the mesa itself and nearby. On the other side of the Willow Run, in the hills about a quarter of a league, are large rocks, some of which are limestone. But the Arroyo de San Marcos is the place where many limestones, like those they burn in San Antonio, are. There are so many of such large water pools on the tracts of land they occupy that even if there were no spring, whatever, with only the water which enters them from the Arroyo de Paso de Robles and from the water of the rain, there would be enough water to supply the mission and its fields. Padre Lasuen, Mission San Miguel's founder, was appointed Presidente of the Mission chain February 6, 1785, following Padre Serra's death. He arrived in Monterey by January 12, 1786, and for the remainder of his life, Mission San Carlos was his official headquarters. The summer of 1797 was a busy one for the Padre. On June 11th, the 14th Mission San Jose was founded, followed by San Juan Bautista as the 15th on June 24th, Mission San Miguel, July 25th, and Mission San Fernando Rey de España on September 8th. Mission San Miguel Arcángel would be the 16th overall in the chain in Alta California, 22 of them by the Spanish government and one under the leadership of Mexico, and the second in Salinan territory. Named for St. Michael the Archangel, Padre Lasuen dedicated the mission, and his first appointed administrator to the mission was Padre Buenaventura Sitar, who had spent the prior 25 years at Mission San Antonio de Padua and who had surveyed the site 2 years earlier. Assisting him would be Padre Antonio de la Concepcion Jora. He baptized some 15 to 25 neophytes that first day. The neophytes at this mission were referred to as Migueleños. Of course, we know that the Padres weren't going to go set up a mission by themselves. They would have an escolta, an escort. These would be soldados de cuerda. And the first guards that were stationed at Mission San Miguel were Corporal Jose Antonio Rodriguez, Manuel Montero, Jose Maria Guadalupe, and Juan Maria Pinto. So they had just a little smaller escort than normal. But they and their families would be accompanying the Padres. Within a year of establishing Mission San Miguel, a small village grew up around the church. Some neophyte families from nearby missions San Luis Obispo and San Antonio came to live near the new settlement, and by their enthusiasm won the confidence of other Salinans. That first church was erected quickly, and it was mud-roofed. It was outgrown within a year and replaced in 1798 with a similar structure, but the roof was untiled. They never got around to it. By 1800, the first quadrangle was completed along with an irrigation system, crops, orchards, and a vineyard. While the soldados were at the mission, they weren't there to just point guns at the native Californians or the neophytes and force them to work. But they did end up carrying out what the Spanish called justice. In 1800, there was a Padre Cipres who was originally assigned to Mission San Antonio, and he came on a visit to Mission San Miguel, and he felt severely ill with severe stomach cramps. So did a couple of other Padres, and suspicion fell upon 3 of the neophytes. There were accusations that one had bragged about poisoning the Padres. And what ended up happening is these neophytes were taken to Soledad under guard. Well, while they were being held at Mission Soledad, the person who was guarding them got drunk and they escaped. Well, 2 years later, They were captured, and the padre insisted that, hey, they should be let go, provided they were whipped publicly in front of their families. The truth of the poisonings came to light with the publication in 1965 of Padre Lassoen's collected writings. According to Lassoen, the poisoning was caused from drinking mezcal, which had been stored in a copper container lined with tin, and not by any misdeeds of the Indians. The information is contained in a letter written to Padre Jose Gasol by Padre Lassoen, dated November 25th, 1801. Almost from the very beginning, there were problems with Padre Antonio de la Concepcion Jora. There were difficulties with him, and he was assigned by Padre Lassoen, the Presidente of the mission chain, to work with the more experienced Padre Setiar. He did do at least some good, or made an attempt at it. In 1800, he accused the Padres at Mission La Purísima of abusing the Chumash neophytes. And because he went through official channels, there had to be an investigation. Governor Diego de Borica was directed to make an investigation into the matter, requiring that both military officials and Padres respond to 15 questions bearing on the subject, which ultimately cleared them. That might not have actually been the truth, but they were exonerated. But now, Padre Jora, he's already got a bad reputation anyway. He frightened the soldados and the neophytes with his behavior. They considered him to be more and more erratic, and probably his most extreme behavior was he was commanding the neophytes to shoot arrows and the soldados to fire their cartridges to kill the ants that were bothering him. And at this point, Father Setiar is talking with Father Lassoen about what do we do about this guy. And he was urged to come up to Monterey, where he was examined by two physicians who said he's insane. And in 1804, he was shipped to Mexico and then ultimately to Spain. Okay, so I'm coming back to Mission San Miguel Arcángel because I talk too much. Hope you stick with me.